Officials at Utah Valley Regional Medical Center say actor Gary Coleman is unconscious and on life support. They admitted him at the Provo Hospital on Wednesday after he suffered a brain hemorrhage at home. John, I spent the morning here on campus talking to students about the healthcare reform, and from what I heard, there are a lot of differing opinions on the matter. This weekend, parents and alumni swarmed BYU as they participated in the annual Parents Weekend. 11 News reporter Chelsea Tobar is live on campus. Chelsea, Mother Nature wasn't very cooperative for the parents' visits.
No,
You know, I feel bad for you, Adam and Sable, that you guys have to be sitting inside because today is beautiful out here for St. Patrick's Day. But as far as the good weather goes, I think our luck might be running out pretty soon. Each Redbox has 630 DVDs. Customers say they don't always find the selection they want, but for $1 per rental, that's a price they're willing to pay. This year, the Utah Give Kids a Smile has had a record-breaking turnout of volunteers and dentists, which has allowed them to treat more patients than ever before.
Two seniors from Timpanogos High School say they got kicked off the Orem City Youth Council for simply asking a question, but city officials say it's not that simple. BYU Daily News reporter Lauren Christensen explains why the teens got into hot water.
The boys' youth advisor says it wasn't the challenging question they asked guest speaker Rudy Giuliani, but the lack of respect that got them into trouble. 2 months ago, the Orem City Youth Council went to local officials' day at the state capitol, where Stevie Smith asked Giuliani whether decreased crime rates in New York were because of an increase in abortion rates and not because of Giuliani's policies. Youth Council advisor Paul Johnson says the question was inappropriate.
It was more of a challenge than a question. It was clear that they wanted to argue with him to show that he was wrong, not just get an answer to the question.
It was not meant with any malice, the question. It wasn't attacking. Even if it was, he's a politician and he should be used to it.
Smith and his friend Derek Sorensen received letters from Johnson 2 days later stating they'd been removed from the youth council with an explanation why.
He claims that in other interviews that there were other reasons, past behavior problems that he's never even mentioned to us.
We had actually had problems with these particular boys before with sarcastic attitudes and not really a part of the group. They would always separate themselves.
Smith says Johnson has no basis for those statements. He also says that Johnson lied about many details of the incident.
Not only is he infringing on my freedom of speech, but he's slandering me as well. And that is absolutely despicable, and it hurts me.
Sorensen and Smith tried last week to get back on the youth council, but city officials say they're sticking with their decision. 70% of people who abuse prescription drugs get them from a friend or relative's medicine cabinet, usually without them knowing. That's why Provo police installed a new weapon in the fight against drug abuse.
I think it's a good idea for people to clear out their cabinets, because people really are a target whenever you leave something like that in your cabinet.
Drop boxes like this provide people with a place where they can bring their extra prescription drugs, stick them in a bag like this, and then put them in the box for safe disposal. Provo police will keep security tight on the new drop box. Every time it's emptied, there must be 2 armed officers present. The contents will then be sealed and sent to be incinerated safely. But what if you're given more prescription drugs than you need at one time?
If they're given a lot at one time and told to use it over an extended period of time, just lock them up. Maybe put it in a gun safe, secure it under your bed, I don't know, wherever you can do to put it in a place that youth can't access it.
Experts say if people want to dispose of prescription drugs safely in their own homes, they can crush the pills, mix them with something gross like a dirty diaper, and put them in the trash where nobody will look to find them. Lauren Christensen, BYU Daily News, Provo. Governor Gary Herbert announces his nominee for the Utah Supreme Court, and it's a famous name in Utah's legal community. And Utah Special Olympics kicked off yesterday. We'll introduce you to some of the first winners. I'm Lauren Christensen. BYU Daily News at noon starts now. Taylorsville police are looking for 3 men involved in killing an 18-year-old woman and injuring a 21-year-old man near Jordan River Trail Wednesday. Police say the knife attack wasn't random, but they still aren't sure what motivated it. Police say they have very limited descriptions of the men to go on because the stabbings happened after dark. Ronnie Lee Gardner's execution date will not change. Judge Robin Reese rejected recent defense motions for a stay, saying any new arguments raised should have been part of Gardner's court appearance in 2000. Gardner got his death sentence for the 1985 killing of an attorney. Gardner will face a firing squad on June 18th. Still to come on your BYU Daily News at noon, authorities release a shocking 911 call with a disturbing confession, and one Texas woman will spend her life in prison because of it. A Texas woman will spend life in prison with no chance of parole for the murder and attempted murder of her daughters. Deborah Jeter called 911 and turned herself in last June. Now that the case is closed, authorities have released that chilling 911 call. Debbie Denmore has more and starts our look at news from around the nation. More from around the nation, Miami police continue their search for suspects that injured two young boys in a drive-by shooting. Police say the car drove by and fired a high-powered weapon as a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old played basketball near their home. They say the suspects shot one boy in the arm and the other in the chest, but neither injury is life-threatening. And with Memorial Day weekend travel plans underway, BP gas station owners are fearful that the negative attention from the oil crisis will affect them thousands of miles away. Consumer frustration shows up on Facebook and T-shirts, asking drivers nationwide to boycott BP. BP says they will lower the cost of gasoline to make it cheaper than their competition. This has been your look at news from around the nation. Jake, back to you.
Nice.
Great, man. I'm on my way down to St. George this weekend, so it looks like it'll be good weather for me at least.
Well, it looks a little cute.
Thanks, Mark. Visitors to Salt Lake's Temple Square will now have a way to see what the inside of the temple looks like. The temple is sacred to members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and only members in the highest standing can enter. Today, the church unveiled a new display at the temple's visitor center. And as BYU Daily News reporter Emily Reynolds reports, it gives everyone a little look into the happenings at the LDS temple. The scale model is in Temple Square's South Visitor Center, and admission to the center is free.
You know, last night we had an exciting finish at the Staples Center.
That's right, Jake. Michael Bodmer is here to tell us more about sports. Mike? Cougars. Yep. All right, thanks, Michael. Still to come on your BYU Daily News at noon, a U.S. soldier returns from Afghanistan after nearly 10 months. Why he didn't tell his daughters he was coming home. We'll be right back. Man, what a touching story. What an awesome surprise.
Yeah, that is really sweet. I mean, I think she is going to remember that graduation gift for a long, long time.
Yeah, I bet she will.
Makes me want to graduate all over again.
Well, that's your daily news for Friday, May 28th.
For updates around the clock, join us online at dailynews.byu.edu.
Have a great afternoon.